Hello everybody, welcome back to my little corner of this YouTube universe. I'm Dave and I hope you're having a great day. I'm finally getting around to making this video. I went to the Moeller card show last Friday and got a few things to show off. Been meaning to make this video, but either I've been too busy or too lazy. Combination of the two. I mean, when I'm not busy, I'm lazy and just haven't got around to making it, but I had a real good time. Got to hang out with a few fellow YouTubers. I had Trevor from Blue Collar Cards, Rob from Cash Cards, Love Truth was there. He has a small channel, but go check him out. And then David Masari, I think his last name is. He was there. He doesn't have a channel, but he comments and a big part of the community. So we all hung out, had a good time. It wasn't too busy, so we could have plenty of room to look around and see what was there. And I picked up a few things, and I'm going to show them off here. So going to the show here, I still had money left over from Strongsville. I skipped out the Sunday at Strongsville so I could have some money for this show. So I picked up a few things, and the first thing I picked up was a gift or a trade with Trevor from Blue Collar Cards. I gave him a card, and he gave me this 1991 Cesar Geronimo autograph card, and really love this. I'm really getting into autograph Reds cards of lately, so really love that. Thank you, Trevor, and I hope you enjoy the card I gave you. Next thing I picked up was not a card, but it goes with my 1940 World Series collection, and it's the souvenir scorebook from the World Series when the Detroit Tigers the Cincinnati Reds beat the Detroit Tigers in 7 games, and this is a Cincinnati version, and it's a real cool little magazine scorebook, and saw that and I just couldn't pass it up. Next, I got 3 additions to my 1922 E120 Reds team set. Picked these up from William Chappell. He's got a few more. I'll go into a card show. We'll see him at Chappell again this weekend. So I hope he's got a couple more. I hope to get there. He still has them there, and I can pick up more. But the first one is pitcher Cliff Markle. Now he was a talented youngster coming in the mid-teens, but between his drinking and his ego, he never really materialized into a great player. But he pitched for the Reds for a couple years in the 20s. But there's an interesting story. When World War I came up, he signed up and enlisted and went into the war. And for a while there, his whereabouts were unknown. Nobody knew what happened to him, and there were some reports that he was the first ball player to die in the war, but after a couple months he was finally found. He had gotten injured in the war and was recuperating somewhere, and they found him, but so he ended up being okay. Then he returned, and like I said, he played for the Reds in the 20s, and he wasn't real good, but he did give a couple. I think he had one decent season. But next is Ralph Pinelli. Now he had a decent career with the Reds, but he ended up playing 6 years with the Reds, and he had a couple other years, but he had real interesting. I mean, during his playing career, he was known for having a real hot temper. He would go off at the snap of the fingers, and he got in many fights with opposing players and teammates. I mean, he got in a real big feud with Adolfo Luque, a Reds pitcher at the time, and I think Adolfo Luque challenged him to a duel or something I read, but after his playing days, he ended up being a long-time umpire. He was an umpire for 22 years in the majors, and he was able to control his temper, and he was one of the most well-respected umpires of his age. He ended up umping 4 All-Star games and 6 World Series. And his last year, I think the 56 World Series, he was a home plate umpire for Don Larson's Perfect Game. And after that World Series, he retired and he has a card in the 1955 Bowman set as an umpire, so I'm going to try to look for that and pick that up. The next one is the best player of these 3 cards, and this is not the comedian of the same era, but this is George Burns, and he had a 15-year career, mostly with the New York Giants, but he played 3 years with the Reds. He was a great outfielder. He ended up with over 2,000 hits, scored 1,200 runs, and had almost 400 stolen bases. So with these 3 cards, I've got now 8 of the 15 players in the E120 Reds team set. So like I said, I'll see Chapel again this weekend and hope to pick up 1 or 2 more. Next one is another addition to my T206 Reds team set. And this is pitcher Bob Spade. Like I said, he only lasted a couple of years in the majors. I think the T206 was his only card. I said this is the one because it has a little bit of writing in the back, but still a great looking card. Was real happy to pick that up. And final card, it's my big purchase of the show, and it completes my Pete Rose run. I picked up his rookie card at Strongsville, and I just needed 1 more card of his, and that's a 1964 with a rookie cup, a beautiful, well-centered copy. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now I got his complete Topps run done. I don't have them all graded, but I at least have a copy of every one of his cards. Oops, there's the back. It's a real beautiful card. Been wanting this for a while and just never pulled the trigger on it. And this is the last card I needed for my 1964 Reds team set. So now I got from 63 to 69 complete. I got 3 cards for 62 and 5 cards for 60 before I get the whole decade of the 60s done for the Reds. So I'm going to try to work on that again this weekend at the card show, the Hilliard card show. So probably have a video showing that next week. Got my April online pickup video coming soon. Got a couple real cool cards there, so you don't want to miss that. But that's all I got for today. So until next time, peace.